How's everybody today?
Good.
Not all at once, of course. The thumbs up like that. There's a cat meowing. Who's got the meowing cat? Am I hearing things?
No, I hear you too.
Sorry, my cat is going to scream, so I have to go feed her. And I mean scream.
I'll bring her on.
I heard a cat. Hello. A lot of familiar faces. I see Claire. I don't know Claire. And I'm Kelly Latimer. I've heard about you, but I've not met you before. Hi.
Oh, that's weird. Hi.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi. This is so much fun.
Thanks for coming. We usually wait till about 5 after and just chit chat, and then we go to our lane mates, the non-marathon swimming. Well, I don't know what we'll call it. It's really still. I'm still working on my theory. We get to go talk to people in a little room.
It doesn't sound so much fun when you say it like that.
Well, I'm like, is meet your lane mates? Does that resonate with you?
Yeah.
I like it.
Y'all get it, right?
Rain and pools.
Yeah.
Yeah, lane mates.
Mark, I like Mark's view of the lake there. That's soothing. Mark Johnson. You know. Good morning, Suzie.
Hello.
Fantastic. Thanks for coming, everybody. Claire, I don't know you. Have we met before? I'm glad you're here. Oh, I can't hear you. Are you muted? Or your audio not connected? Oh no. I can't hear you, Claire. Good morning, Suzie.
Claire's there.
Claire's here.
Hi.
I'll give you a little.
Hey, John.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm so disappointed at Susan's post this morning, Kelly.
Nice hat, Shannon.
Thank you. I had full volume on my hair this morning, so we just got on.
Elaine!
Guys,
So,
what was that? Suzie, were you saying something?
Claire, you may not see, but Claire is a friend of mine from swim track.
Oh, lovely.
Who's, I don't know if she's in France right now or if she's in England, but she's a nurse in England.
All right. Awesome.
So, yeah.
Very cool.
Okay.
Do you have audio now, Claire? Can we hear you?
Brush my hair, Molly.
I see that. Beautiful, Suzie.
Have a great day. You too.
Wow.
I have a unicorn horn. I was going to wear my goggles. Very funny.
It's fun to put them on sometimes.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how this worked. I almost just put on a suit.
Yeah, why not, right?
I don't really put a suit on for formal meetings. I just put a tie and a jacket and leave the rest of it.
I meant a swimsuit, John.
All right, well, it's 5 after. I was gonna, before we go into our meet our lane mates, I'm gonna give away another mug today to some lucky participant. So I have to spend this whole 5 minutes that you're getting to know each other writing all your names down. So thank you very much for coming. Let's get our breakout room set up. What's our topic be today? Let's see. What you had for dinner last night.
No.
There. Oh dear. Or didn't have, either way. All right, so we'll see you at about 20 till, roughly. You'll get a notice.
Okay.
What'd you have for dinner last night?
Conrad made dinner.
I love
He
that.
made fresh pasta
Oh my God.
and meatballs and zucchini and garlic bread.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'll send you, I took a picture of him at the stove. He had every burner going, and he's just like, stirring stuff and checking the pasta, and it's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Does he
It
clean up
took like 2 hours for him to make it.
That's awesome.
And then he has this, he wanted to make a roast chicken. So him and Emma went to the store yesterday, and they go, yeah, well, we couldn't find any whole chickens to roast. So we got this. And they pull up this little tiny bird. It's a Cornish hen. I'm like, okay. So we're gonna have Cornish hen tomorrow night.
That's awesome.
What do you guys make?
I made a dish my kids affectionately call peanut butter soup, but it's a staple through the winter. It's basically like a carrot ginger soup with coconut milk, and you put butter in it. But my kids call it peanut butter soup. But glad it was going to be rainy. I was looking at I try to plan my meals on Sunday, and I was looking at my board this week, just like drawing a blank, and then I was like, saw the weather, it was going to be rainy. I was like, soup, like it was just Noah hates it, but all right, I better get everyone else back here.
Okay, get in here.
Well, it still takes a minute once I hit the button. They get a 60-second.
Okay, you do what you need to do.
I'm ready. I got all the names in my tab. What are 3 people's better? What's your experience in a room with 2?
Yeah, 3.
Better?
I think 3 is better.
Okay. Well, a lot of the rooms ended up with 2 people today, but then you get, and that's more realistic. Even 4 would be more realistic. We're the only people that would have lane mates.
Yeah.
Hi.
We're just discussing the value of whether you should have 2 or 3 people in a lane for meet your lane mates. But I was thinking, because like where we swim, where there's less people in the whole world, so you might only have 1 or 2 other people in your lane. But it might be more realistic if we have like 5 or 6. So
Exactly. We're all sitting on top of each other.
Right.
Not socially distanced.
Right.
So what are these glamour shots? Kelly had a glamour shot. Molly had a glamour shot. Just show up with
Hi, Elaine.
sexy photos. Hi, John.
If you have it's basically your Zoom default. Like if you don't have your video on, you can set a photo to show up.
Okay. Well, that's a very LinkedIn kind of photo.
This is my professional Zoom account, and I'm technically at work right now. So
I was gonna say, I'm really underdressed.
We should have clothes on, John. Just
I
saying.
still have my jammies on. I just got out of bed. Hi, Janine.
Oh, Janine, you're outside. How nice.
The Atlantic's angry this morning, but it's beautiful. It's a little update for y'all.
Okay.
All right, did everybody come back? Let's see. But I lost Suzie. How did we lose Suzie?
I'm here.
I saw her a moment ago.
See my faces. All right.
How do you see all the other people? How do you make it so?
There's a little, so if you look up in the top right corner, there's a speaker view and a guest view. And if you put speaker view, you'll only see the person talking. If you put
there's too many people.
Gallery is the one where you can see everybody. All right, so let's get to know Suzie. Thank you for joining us so bright and early, Suzie. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself this morning?
I don't know if anybody doesn't know me. That's what's frightening. So I hated swimming lessons. That's what I always tell the kids that I teach. I hated swimming lessons. I had a distinct memory sitting in the back of my grandmother's car without seatbelt, screaming on the way to the Y in Kansas City and hating it. So, and then I started swimming in high school, went to a very small high school, all girls. And in the middle of that, like my sophomore year, discovered boys and discovered that there was a swim team, you know, less than 400 yards from my house. And so I swam summer league, and they loved me because not because I was fast, but because I was 15-year-old girl, and 15-year-old girls did not join. They left. So I was an anathema. And then swam in college, and again, a very small college.
What college?
Humboldt State University. Great school. It's a great school. Fantastic teachers, great location. Anyway, and then went from there to masters because I needed to swim during the winter time, and I swam masters. And then there was a guy there who was an open water swimmer, and he encouraged me, and that's when I tried Tahoe. It failed the first time, and then my second attempt at cross Tahoe was a success, and I loved it. And that was pretty much all she wrote. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
My unscripted question I just came up with last night is, how do you describe the feeling of completing a marathon swim?
Utter relief.
Well said.
Yeah.
Where's your favorite place to swim? Anything you want to add to that before you go to the next question? I love that utter relief. That's perfect.
Yeah. There's a distinct memory. I had finishing a swim in Sicily that had been truncated because one of the lead swimmers had his arm hit by a boat propeller. Yeah. Finishing that on the shores of Medina. And I got out, and I'm like, I need a Coke. And it's kind of like, yeah, that's what it is. You're very glad, but you're also like, So I'm sure, Elaine, after your Loch Ness, you're like, I need something warm. You know, or after the 24-hour, I need some sleep. So I would think utter relief is probably the best description for me. My favorite place to swim is the one where I can swim right now. No, you know, Aquatic Park and Tahoe are probably my favorite places. Tahoe because it's the site of my first failure and my first success, and Aquatic Park because it's so familiar. Yeah. Most people have swum in Aquatic Park that I can see. And yeah, I know.
I'm coming.
And it's not glamorous, but it's a great venue for so many things. So yeah.
What's your favorite event of all time?
My favorite event, I thought about that one actually. My favorite event is probably my second Tahoe swim, where I succeeded because I was fit. I was fairly fast for that swim for me, had great conditions, and I'd never done anything like it before. So it was this whole feeling of, wow, okay. And then of course you get the Superman complex. And then the next year I did what we called the length, but is not the length. So, but I didn't know that back in the 80s. So yeah. So that's the old Olympic Club distance, which is Sand Harbor, Nevada to Chambers Landing, California. It's 14 miles. But the Chambers Landing is a private club, and they stopped allowing that because there were too many people and they were being too rambunctious. There was a lot more drinking going on in open water swimming back in the 80s and the early 90s. So yeah.
what about the swim that you're the most proud of, finished or not?
Janine will know that one. Manhattan. Just because it was such a mother to finish, and not necessarily because of it. Yeah,
You got it done.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I had
Down the Hudson
such,
was not pretty, but you got it done.
and see, I finished another one-arm swim, it's such a great dinner afterwards. Janine, I did not frickin' know Janine from a hole in the wall. And the swim comes up and she reaches out and offers me up her place and crews for me. And then when I finish, she takes me out to dinner at this fantastic steak place. So yeah, that is the epitome of marathon swimming to me. That is it.
Yeah.
Didn't know her from Adam. And you were just about ready to move to move. Yeah.
I love
Anyway.
that. Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself a process or an outcome person?
I don't really know what that means.
Oh, good.
I am the least introspective person in the world. So I don't know. I mean, the process can be wonderful and it can be so frustrating. You know, one of the things I remember after my first 4-hour training swim for the channel was thinking, great, I'm going to sleep so well tonight. And that hammer hits you and I couldn't figure out why. And it took me a while. And that's one of the things when people ask me, I'm like, look, you're not going to be, you're going to be tired, but you can't sleep. So there's that part of the process that I hate, but then there's the process of feeling strong and focusing your life. But then there's the outcome when you swim into the shores of the beach and the people are, the French women have no tops on and the men are, drinking wine on the beach, and that's the outcome. So I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Well, I think it's just lovely to hear what people even think of process and outcome. I love it. Love it. Thank you. How do you handle hard situations?
I cry.
That's awesome. That's fair.
I mean, yes and no. Yeah, you cry in your tears while you're swimming. Sometimes I swear, a lot, but yeah, vacillate between those two, crying and swearing. Crying has got me a lot sometimes, and so is swearing. So, yeah.
How do you keep going in those situations?
Your crew, and you think about what your goal is and the fact that you don't freaking want to do this again. So you might as well keep going because you're going to have to go back and try it again otherwise. Am I right? I mean, raise your hand if you've been there, right? Yeah. Yeah. You guys know. It's yeah. I mean, barring things that you can't control. But generally speaking, you're just, it's a rough patch and you get through it. So yeah. This is weird doing all the talking.
Sorry, Suzie. You're the special guest today. How about that? What's the worst part of, I'm guessing I know the answer to this, but what's the worst part of your shelter in place?
Not seeing my mom.
Guess that.
I miss the momisms.
Yeah, right. So they've set up, so for those of you who don't know, my mom has Alzheimer's and is in a fantastic care facility. Everybody I know has been so impressed with them. They got iPads, and so I've had a couple of FaceTime chats with her, and that seems to cheer her up, and lets me keep an eye on them. But just she's less than 2 miles away, and I can't see her. So yeah, that's hard. But they have been well, so far they've been a step ahead of the game in everything. So I'm really, really pleased. Yeah. So, yeah. So different. You didn't expect that.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
Other people's situations, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I am getting my garage cleaned out though, so that's good.
You did? You said?
No, not completely. Oh my God, no. But that's been a project. So, yeah. Yeah.
Cool. I have another unscripted question I came up with. What did I write? Let's see. What advice would you give to someone new or aspiring marathon swimmer?
Don't think that you're going to be able to sleep after your first 4-hour swim. No, seriously, no, it's technique. I will follow the advice I give people when they ask is get in the pool. Get in the pool. People always think, you guys know what I'm not telling you don't know. But
for the people who might listen to the recording or something, they might be intimidated to come,
but yeah, get your technique down before you start, thinking that you're going to be going, hours and hours in the lake or the bay or the ocean. Yeah.
It's a good one. I mean, there's definitely probably people who find out their shoulder problems later.
Yeah. Yeah. What would you do? What's your bit of advice?
A second. I'm not a special guest. Technique's my big one. I mean, for me, for sure. I mean, the kind of the what I've figured out the last few years is, yeah, if I spend time on my technique, I can push my distance just one day a week, and that's adequate. And then I work on kind of a mental endurance in other ways. So I think that the mental training maybe would be my secret tip that you didn't mention already, but the technique training is super important.
Yeah.
Versus volume to me.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Who should be a future guest on our marathon swim stories?
Shoot. I wrote it down and now I can't remember.
Kelly Latimer.
I Penny Palfrey. And it might work because she's in Queensland, I think.
Oh.
I think it's evening time for her. And I think considering just, where she is right now, it might be a really, really, she would have some phenomenal answers. And if you don't know her, I know Elaine does, I'll reach out to her.
Yeah, I need a little push over the edge. So far people have been receptive when I reach out.
Yeah.
But if you can help me push them over.
Yeah. I think it'd be fun. So yeah.
It's for Suzie. And you have questions for her?
Nobody has any questions. Yay. No.
How are the piggies?
They're fine. You know what? They've been a godsend.
Yeah.
They really have, just to have something moving around and yakking at you. And have something being responsible for. And I'm actually getting both of them to, there's a little box, a little hidey hole box in their pen. And I'm getting both of them to be able to, to jump up on it to get a treat. So they're not as dumb as I thought they were. Well, they are, but yeah. So
you'll have them driving you to the grocery store before this is over.
You've seen all those little, everybody, that Piggy Hine Museum, I got about 15 things from people saying, look at this. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not that talented. So, yeah. How you guys doing?
Doing?
Yeah. How's Mark, Elaine?
He's okay. He's exhausted. It's really tough to be a grocery store worker in this time. We've perfected the disinfection protocol, though. I mean, it takes about 20 minutes when he gets home, but we have it down to a science. And so far, everybody's healthy. So
Good. Good. Yeah. Strange times, folks. Very strange times. Definitely. Yeah.
one of the biggest issues he's having is the masks, the elastic behind the ear. His ears are all like inflamed and stuff. So I'm trying to get him one of those ear saver things, but it hasn't materialized yet. So,
Oh, man.
So some people have taken goggle straps.
We're trying that. Yes.
Yeah. I can't sew worth beans, so I don't know, but
I don't either.
Yeah. But yeah, I've heard that that's a problem.
I actually I had a pile of old, the Swedish goggle straps, the elastic. I had done a story about master swimmers who were making masks, and they said that they were having trouble getting elastic. And I was like, are you kidding me? I've got like 100 of these in the cabinet. Can I send them to you? And the woman was like, yes. If you have these lying around, they're useful.
Elaine, send us the address, because I've got a bunch as well. I'll happily send them.
So do I.
Elaine, was that the group in Washington?
That group, that woman she's in Illinois, the woman.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because there was a group in Washington, and they wanted them to go with some 3D imaged face masks.
Cool.
And we got our whole team together and shipped off a bunch of them. It was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But I think they don't need any more. So if you see the Seattle address, they don't need any more. They've got enough.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't know why I've been keeping these. I just,
I take them off and put them in a box.
Yeah, they're just in the cabinet, and because I use the ogles, the bungee, the silicone straps, because these break down so fast in the chlorine. So I've been doing that for years, and it's just like, wow, I had like 30 of these suckers in the cabinet. So.
There's a reason why we hoard shit.
Hoard is definitely the correct word.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Is anybody, I mean, I know Molly can swim, but it's a bit of a drive. Janine, you can swim. Anybody else able to swim?
Yeah, we're swimming here.
As soon as it warms up and I can find one person who's willing to be 6 or 8 feet apart, yes.
Yeah.
I just won't go alone.
Yeah.
But the ocean's still 45, but with a wetsuit, I can stay in an hour easily.
Wow.
If I could cross state lines, I'd be there, John.
I know you would, Kelly.
I've been swimming in Montana. It's been pretty cold, but we've been out pretty often.
Nice.
Yeah, I bet it's easy to keep 6 feet away in Montana.
It's social distancing in Montana is redundant.
That's cool. Yeah, that's why I walk in parking lots. I swear to God, I don't have to. There's nobody around because nobody else is as dumb as I am. But you get it done. You get it done.
We go hiking in parking lots. There's lots of vacant schools around us, so the kids bike and I walk and do circles around the parking lot.
Yeah. Starting to see some artwork in the parking lot. So I think other people are doing the same thing. So it'll be tough because the weekend is warm up here, and so they're gonna, hopefully people will stay close. Otherwise they may, close the beaches. They closed them in Santa Cruz and then opened them up again, but they're ticketing if you don't have a local driver's license, a local address. So yeah.
I have another swimming question for Suzie.
Okay, who is that? You're not seen.
This is Liz.
Yes. Hi.
What's your next long swim that you want to do when you can?
That's a really good question. I don't know, because I don't have the patience or the time or the energy to do a long swim, but there's a great swim up in Arcata, which is about 5 hours. That's the Humboldt Critter Crawl. And it's it took me about an hour and a half, but it's current assist. And it's close by. It's where I went to school, and it's a $75 entry fee. So all those things speak to me. So I may do that, but like we're talking an hour and a half swim.
Wow.
So I don't know. That doesn't distance. It's marathon, but time wise, it's not. I'd like to circumnavigate Angel Island again, and then one of my goals is to swim around all the islands in the bay. So that's going to take a while, and then of course that's Alameda. So that's definitely a big one, but I don't know. So I have dreams about diving into the pool right now. And that streamlined feeling, just like I'd kill for that right now.
Yeah.
So good question, but I no real answer. So, yeah.
Sorry? It's fun to hear what people are hoping and dreaming. Sorry, Liz, what were you saying?
Yeah. Oh, I said that's okay. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I was hoping to get down into Janine's part of the world and swim around Charleston. That was my hope for my next long swim, but I don't know if that's going to happen this year.
Well, I think it'd be more likely for you to happen for you than for somebody like me on the West Coast. You can at least drive there. But yeah, I like that swim. That was a nice swim. The food, it was amazing. Not for the swim, but the restaurants in Charleston.
Yeah, they are.
Oh.
There are a handful of swims in the Charleston area, and I would like to do them all. So I don't know which one will come first, but yeah, that's part of moving to the East Coast is exploring the races in this half of the country, I should say.
Yeah. So cool.
We've got a whole bunch of them if you come up the coast. Just saying,
That's a little bit longer drive, but a distinct possibility. You just might see me, Elaine.
Yeah. Well, we'd love to have you. We're hoarding the cold water up here.
And we're happy to share.
As soon as I can go somewhere, you better believe that I'll be in my car to get some water somewhere.
I went to get guinea pig food last week, and there's 2 stores close by. One is 3 miles and one is 9 miles. And I went, yeah, hell yeah. I did not get out of the car, but I got on the freeway. Woohoo. Yeah. So, but I think that we're all we all have roofs over our head right now. And how many people are still working?
I am.
Wow.
I am.
Yeah. Hi, Mark.
Way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all sort of blurs together.
That's the hard part, I'm sure. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to not work right now.
They barely got lunch yesterday.
Oy. That's crazy. I have to, yeah. So I appreciate you all working whatever you're doing because you're paying my unemployment. So I thank you very much. But, maybe not directly, but indirectly. So.
Being our special guest, Susie. We just have a couple minutes left. Rowan, my 5-year-old here, he's going to pull her out of our mug for our mug winner.
Okay. What's the story behind the mugs?
I had a made for Camp Shasta, which was supposed to be happening right now.
Right.
I know you opened me up. That's not happening this
Yeah.
week. Yeah, I had a made for the camp. I refunded everyone's money. Otherwise, I would have sent them their mugs, but it wasn't until after I'd refunded money that the potter was like, "You still want me to fill that order?" And I forgot I put 50% down, so I said, "Still the 50% that I paid already." So anyway, I've got some.
Okay.
But you know what? People love getting mugs because
yes, they do.
from events, and people are thrilled with them. So you'll make people happy.
Chris G gets this one. Chris G. Nice.
Liz, you see this, right?
Oh, that is my mug that I drink my coffee out of every day when I'm actually in the office.
Me too.
I love that mug.
Cool.
I was drinking from my Rockland Breakwater swim mug the other day.
R.I.P.
All pleasure.
Just one today. Chris, you got to send me your address.
I will send it to you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you bet. And next week is our Wish We Were at SCAR week, and we've got Elaine on the 28th and Janine on the 30th. So
Great. Looking
cool.
forward to that.
Yeah.
And Janine next week.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
All right.
all you in the morning. Thank you for being here. It's really
Thanks, guys.
Fun.
Yeah.
Listening.
Thanks, Shannon.
Thank you,
Have a
Shannon.
good
Good to
day.
see you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Take care, everybody.
Bye.